time out of Apollo. So we want to be really careful about it. The companies, we're fine with just Apollo at the moment.
Yeah.
Eventually, we will move on and we will develop more software because we've got all that code and the libraries and the infrastructure and the programmers and the knowledge and everything else. So it's like, but I mean, the market is not going to saturate anytime soon.
Mm-hmm.
And at the moment, we are, talking at night about, what's the next software going to be like. And
Yeah.
joke within the company is whatever it is going to be page reload program. But we know that's not going to be the case. So, I mean, I don't know actually, but yeah, the future is to strengthen our position and to make Apollo stronger, and eventually long term, maybe more apps, maybe I don't know. We'll see. Maybe my dream is to get modules for Apollo, so you can actually develop more things under Apollo. But
Okay.
that's again, I don't know if that's even going to work, if people want it. So we don't know yet. We're just going to let the users decide, really.
That sounds like a good plan.
Yeah, it's a good plan.
Any tips for other web developers out there, or people trying to start up their own company, their own web app?
Couple of tips. The first one is get a web developer. Sorry, get a graphic designer on day one. You need a
Okay.
designer day one. Like that's the first. You need to employ a designer before you get a programmer.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, or maybe the same day, right? Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, it's the first tip. The second tip is to use
Mhm,
build on existing libraries. Like we use Dojo quite a lot,
mhm.
and that makes it just about everything so much easier. Like Dojo is just fantastic, and we didn't write all the PHP by hand. We used Symfony, for example. There is a whole range of things you can use and should use and actually must use. Don't start from scratch. Start from build up from existing software that will let you develop lots of stuff because there's so much to develop. You just look at Apollo. There's so many
Mhm.
features. You don't want to waste time on drawing the button the right way because you need a bloody button. So that's what you don't want.
Yeah, don't reinvent the wheel.
Yeah, then never. And that's the temptation for every programmer. So and the other piece of advice is to remember that it is possible to develop featureful software with a simple interface. It's just very hard. Every time you develop anything, you got to think about the interface and you got to think about where you're going to place your buttons, what's going to make sense. So, really think about the users and how easy it's going to have to be to use the software. There are so many features we didn't develop in Apollo, not because they're hard to develop, but because they would just be too hard to use. The
Okay,
UI is not going to be easy enough, and if the interface is not easy enough, people are not going to use it. One example
correct.
is we've got users, we've got contacts, and everybody's saying, you really ought to make it possible to add contact, yeah, right, to add users from contacts because you've got a name, you've got the email address. If you think about it, they're two different things. A contact is a person on your address book.
Mhm.
User is somebody who can enter Apollo as a user and use the interface.
Correct.
They're different things. They need different information. They're different things. They're apples and pears. And you cannot make it work neatly because apples are not pears. And the interface would be so hideous. A contact can have many email addresses. So which one do you pick? With a picker. And then they've got different companies, but then they don't match, blah, blah. So just keep it. And if you can't do it because the interface is too complicated, then you shouldn't do
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
And, as simple as that, really.
Keep it simple.
Keep it simple. Very simple. I really do. It's like keep it simple, and then you go add, actually, really, really do. Because it's like simple, but then even us, we've got bits that we want to simplify a lot. So, yeah.
Okay. Thank you for that insight. Very valuable. Which web apps do you yourself use?
I speak for myself. I'm a great lover of Google Documents. I know
Okay.
it's very common. I know it's not, I spend my days on Apollo and Google Documents. That's how I, that's what I do mainly. I love documents because you can really, sometimes, you know, when you see movies and you see people work on computers in movies and they do things that just you go, whatever, that's not possible. But Google Documents, you do things that you would see in movies normally.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Like, and it's like,
I understand.
so yeah, basically you see things that you don't need to, you edit a document and you see that the person writing on top of you and you start talking to each other through the document and just editing at the same time. Sometimes Andrea writes something and I correct it because I think it should be clearer. And then he writes a sentence and I'm just about a sentence above him correcting and he keeps on typing and I'm just over him correcting whatever he's writing, like making it easier to understand and a bit, because I'm a writer, so it's a bit easier for me to actually make it to communicate.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, you look at it and you look at somebody on the computer, it's like, oh my goodness, keep doing that. Is that real? It's like, yes, it is real indeed. Yeah. Yeah, that's why I love documents. I like the interaction and, you know, it's a pity that it doesn't work offline anymore because now with the whole internet computing and Chromebooks, they really ought to do something so they work offline. But
Yeah.
you know what? It was worth it. It was incredible. So that's my thing.
Anybody you or your company would like to thank for helping you win this award?
Well, mainly, probably a very common answer here, but our users, to be honest. I mean, everybody's helping all the time, answering, asking questions, and providing feedback about Apollo. So all those people, everybody using it at the moment, the free ones, the non-free ones, the ones who pay for it, they all give us feedback, and we all develop features according to what they require and ask. But they
Mm-hmm.
actually tell us what Apollo needs in a way. So you know, I think the users before the 11th of April deserve a special badge because they brought
Okay.
problems. And yes, we reward them with a discount. They get 30% off Apollo no matter what they do, which is great. But all of our users really for picking us really because we are relatively new, but they're trusting us enough to use us and with the data, which is fantastic. And we're doing our best not to disappoint them. But yeah, they're doing an incredible with the way they talk to us, and we sometimes print out emails just because we're so happy about what they're saying about Apollo, and they really keep us going, and they make a difference for us.
Okay, I'm glad to hear that. Do you have any questions for us or our company?
Um, One question: do you ever get tired of reviewing web apps? You did so many.
Well, no, we don't. We don't get tired. As we said, as I said, we have reviewed 2,000 web apps so far, and at the end of the day, we just look back and we said we did so many, and we're curious to see how many more we can do.
Wow.
And other than that, yeah, it's a pleasure. So it's a passion. We do it out of passion. So we're glad that people can tell, and that number is a proof itself in itself.
If we had an award, we would assign it to you.
Thank you, thank you very much. But you created your app, and we are thankful to you for that. And at the end, are we would just want to say thank you for this interview, and it was a pleasure to talk to you. And on behalf of the whole Apple team, we wish you all the best and good luck. And we hope Apollo HQ will take you to wherever you want to go and beyond.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you and have a nice day.
Goodbye.